We request everyone to please put your phones on silent or airplane mode, please. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome everyone to Knowledge Series 6. We cordially invite Mr. D. VEERLAPATI sir to interact and inspire our medical students on engineering innovation and clinical practice. On behalf of Dr. Krishna Rao sir, the Senior Director of Maheshwara Medical College and Hospital, we welcome you all to the today's Knowledge Series proceedings. Just to introduce the guests to college and infrastructure facilities. Maheshwara Medical College and Hospital has 1200 bedded tertiary care teaching hospital, 150 UG students batch and 55 PG residents per year. State-of-art infrastructure and high-quality tertiary care facilities. Fully equipped ICUs with self-sufficient oxygen generators. Enable accredited laboratories including BSL 2+ molecular lab, providing safe and quality-centric patient care. Maheshwara is at a platform much higher than other medical colleges, with a name in this rapidly industrializing urban landscape. Today, we are indeed honored to have with us a very distinguished speaker, Mr. D. VEERLAPATI sir from Chesterfield in the US. On behalf of the management, all staff and students, we would like to welcome you, sir. We would also like to welcome Shri D. Chakrapani sir, IAS retired, who is our mentor and a well-known face.
We invite onto the dais Dr. Krishna Rao sir, Senior Director of Maheshwara Medical College and Hospital. His academic qualification: he did his MS from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, 1989, PhD from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, 2002, Healthcare Senior Leadership, IIM Bangalore, 2020. His academic achievements: PhD Best Thesis by the Adjudicator, won Young Scientist Award from BHU Varanasi, 1991. His research publications: published 3 papers at national level, attended several conferences at national level, professional appointments held: 2004 Kodaikanal, Tamil Nadu, Bangalore, Raffles University and Singapore; 2015 Maheshwara Medical College and Hospital, Hyderabad. He is the Vice President of Telemedicine Society of India, Telangana chapter. He has an experience of 33 years. We invite onto the dais Mr. D. VEERLAPATI sir. We also invite Shri D. Chakrapani sir onto the dais. We request Director Sir to felicitate Mr. Day VEERLAPATI Sir.
People sitting in the back, please come sit in the front rows. Fill all the front rows, please. It is my great pleasure to introduce a visionary leader and an inspiring entrepreneur and a true change maker, Mr. D. VEERLAPATI Sir. He is a founder, president and CEO of S2 Tech, also known as Mr. Dayakar. He is alumnus of IIT Kharagpur. He went to the United States with a dream and the courage to pursue it. Through grit, determination and purpose, he founded S2 Tech, delivering critical healthcare technology solutions across multiple states. But what really set him apart is his powerful life vision, the 3 E's: education, entrepreneurship, and enlightenment. Education. He is deeply committed to transforming lives at the grassroots level. Through initiatives at Saraswati Shinsu Mandir, he is helping bring digital learning and innovative education model to tribal children, empowering them with knowledge, confidence, and ability to dream big. Entrepreneurship. He has partnered with Silicon Valley-based Moonpreneur and leading institutions like IIMs, IITs to train over 3,000 youth, resulting in 25 plus startups. His mission is to shift young minds from job seekers to job creators, solving real-world problems at scale. He passionately encourages youth to explore the profound question, who am I, early in life. He believes that self-awareness can shape, transform leaders like Narendra Modi, Sadhguru, Sri Ravi Shankar, and Elon Musk. He believes each one of us has the potential to not just succeed, but to innovate, lead, and transform lives at scale. Please join me in welcoming a leader who is not just building a company, but shaping the future, Mr. Day VEERLAPATI Sir. Please give a huge round of applause.
We request our Dean Sir to facilitate Sri D. Chakrapani Sir. We request everyone to please raise for the national song. We'll start the program in a traditional way by lighting the lamp. We hereby request all the dignitaries to come forward for the lamp lighting.
lighting of lamp marks the beginning of new ventures and dispel the darkness and illuminate a path of knowledge, wisdom, and hope. We further request Mr. VEERLAPATI sir to speak on the topic Engineering Innovation and Clinical Practice, and other dignitaries to please be seated in the auditorium.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing? Good. Okay, so I have a few prepared remarks first, and then after that I'll come to you and interact with you with some questions. Is that fair? Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Dr. Krishna Rao Garu and Chakrapani sir and Maheshwara Medical College, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm actually on a very short visit from the US. I attended a global conference of meditation leaders in Delhi, and then we'll be staying here for a couple of days and then attend my nephew's wedding and then head back to US on 12th. But okay, so it's a great privilege to be with the bright minds of Maheshwara Medical College, the future doctors, innovators, and leaders of our nation. Today, I want to speak about a powerful intersection: engineering, innovation, and clinical practice. So medicine is no longer just about diagnosis and treatment. It's about systems, technology, and scalable solutions. The stethoscope is being complemented by data, artificial intelligence devices, and digital platforms. The doctor of tomorrow is not only a healer, but also a problem solver and creator. For decades, we have been conditioned, perhaps unconsciously, into a mindset shaped during our British colonial times: study hard, get a degree, and secure a stable job. So that's the kind of mindset we have been conditioned to. But India today needs something far greater than this mindset. We must move from job-seeking mindset to a problem-solving mindset. So look around you, especially in rural and tribal India: lack of access to doctors, delayed diagnosis, poor maternal and child health, limited awareness and preventive care. So these are not just challenges, but they're actually opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. So just imagine this: a low-cost diagnostic device built using engineering principles, or a telemedicine platform connecting villages to specialists, AI tools that help detect diseases early, solar-powered mobile clinics reaching remote areas. So this is where you come in. So organizations like Moonpreneur, I partnered with a company called Moonpreneur in Silicon Valley. So organizations like Moonpreneur are creating ecosystems where young minds learn to identify problems, build solutions, and launch ventures. You don't have to wait for 20 years. You can start thinking like an entrepreneur today. So technology has democratized opportunity. So internet connects you to knowledge and markets. Artificial intelligence amplifies your capability. Solar energy enables infrastructure even in remote villages. So you can now live in a beautiful village, serve communities, and still operate at a global level. So I strongly encourage you to spend time in rural internships and NGOs, NGO medical camps, observe deeply what are the real problems people are facing, work with engineers, technologists, and entrepreneurs, and build solutions. Start small, but start now. So don't just aim to become a successful doctor. Aim to become a doctor innovator, doctor entrepreneur, or doctor leader. If each one of you solves even one meaningful problem, you can impact thousands of lives, especially those who need it the most. So let us move from degrees to discovery, jobs to journey of impact, treatment to transformation of communities. So India doesn't need more clerks. India needs creators, builders, and change makers. And that journey can start with you today, okay? So these are all the prepared remarks I have. So now I'll be coming to you and asking you some simple questions. So some of them just have to raise the hand, and some of them you have to say yes or no. So let me figure it out. Is this on? How many of you are afraid of public speaking? Raise the hands. I don't think anybody would raise the hands, but oh, there's one hand went up. So if you're not afraid of public speaking, I probably would ask you to talk. How many of you heard about Toastmasters? Toastmasters? This is a really wonderful program, Toastmasters. See, one of the things, I graduated, I did my bachelor's from Usmania, in, you know the Usmania University College of Technology. And I was like you guys, wearing the coats and going to the labs and doing the experiments and studying and memorizing everything basically and spitting it out and getting the A grades. So I really didn't have a skill to talk in the public. And when I went to States, they asked me to talk. I was perspiring. The sweat, I had sweat on my forehead, and I was stammering. And can you believe that? That I was in that kind of condition? Can you believe it? Yes, that's what I had. So I was very introvert. And how many of you know Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi? Everybody should raise their hands. We just have Vande Mataram. So Gandhi is also very introvert. He went to England and to do his barrister degree, and so he was also introvert. But he went to a vegetarian society, and where he spoke the benefits of vegetarianism, and that's how he came out of his shell. That's how he was able to talk freely. So very important skill the young people have today is communication skills. You should be authentic. You should come out of this from your heart, not like I just did the prepared remarks, not like that. Just has to come out authentically. So to do that, all employees of my company, if I'm taking them to United States, I require them to go through Toastmasters program. It's a very simple, you can set up a club. If you guys are not able to do the club, we have our HR person can help you and set up and participate in that and do 10 speeches in the Toastmasters. You will be like me, speaking freely, no worries, no inhibitions, no sweat, no stammering, clear, crisp, impactful. Okay? So that's the one advice I would give to all the medical students, especially you guys. I don't know, my brother is a doctor, and I visited him so long time ago. This Grace Anatomy book is still there? This thick? It's still there, right? That was the most people used to fail in that. And they really was wedded to the books when I went to their college. He graduated from Kakatiya Medical College. So that's the kind of, rigor and focus and time we got to spend for passing these medical exams. So we really don't get opportunity to talk in the public forums. My daughters, growing up in the United States, they go to debate clubs, starting in high school. They compete in debates. So it's okay. So that's very, very important. No, so it's okay, sir. So it's a very, very, one advice I would give is to, join the Toastmasters Club. There are a number of clubs out there. If not, that will help with our company, S2 Tech, will help you familiarize, and then you can start the company. That's the one. And the second one, I would ask all of you to answer the question. So let me try. So if you ask yourself, who am I? What is the answer you would give? Who am I? Say whatever comes to your mind, don't worry.
I'm a mother.
You're a mother. Yes, or some people say, I'm so-and-so my name, right? So that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Who am I is a very profound question. You go to ChatGPT and ask. So you should realize who am I answer. If you can realize by 20, 21, 22, you will be quite an amazing person. So Sadhguru, I follow Isha Foundation, Sadhguru, so you saw the ring. This is a snake actually. So, but he became a realized person. He was able to find the answer for who am I by the time he hit 24. And look at it, what's the impact he has on the world. Narendra Modi, he asked himself, who am I? And see the impact of Narendra Modi now. Global leader, got a G20, all countries came, we are a Vishwa Guru now, peace, and people are looking to the, India. So Elon Musk also realized who he is, very young. Look at the impact he is creating. So you've got to ask yourself, who am I question? So that's the second one. If you could do these two, communication skills, and then get the who am I question, you are unstoppable. You will be unstoppable. Anything, and as part of the who am I journey, so there is a number of ways you can get the answer. One of them is meditation. I just came from a global conference of meditation leaders in Bharat Mandapam, Delhi, and our vice president came. So that was organized by Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation. So they left the jobs. Basically, they're very successful entrepreneurs in IT industry, and they left the jobs and started this thing because they want to, transform corporates and organizations and people through meditation. So that's the gift we got from our ancient. And if you do the meditation, your stresses will melt away. You won't feel any stress. You're confident, and you can actually manifest things. Like you say, I wish this happens, and it will actually happen. So you become a creator. So if you can answer the question of who am I, and you do regular meditation, you get amazing powers. Have you guys saw in the scriptures, you mess up with the rishi, and he will take the water from his jar and put it on you and say you become a stone? Have you heard about those kind of things? That's a manifestation. So they have the power to make a person into a stone. That's the manifestation. That's the highest level. But little things you can manifest actually. Little things you can manifest as you increase your capacity of meditation and your connection. Amazing things happen. So that's, I would say, for the medical students, it's very, very important to explore that who am I question, to actually, learn meditation. How many of you actually know meditation? Anybody went and took the courses? Any course? There's so many. At least let me ask you this. Which organizations teach meditation? Can anybody say that? Isha Foundation. That's easy. So that's anything other than Isha. Any other organizations teach meditation? Brahma Kumaris? Have you heard about that? There are a lot of women here. You should know about Brahma Kumaris. And they teach really awesome. They have a 7-day program, and the first 7-day program starts with that. Who am I? And then meditation. Okay? So it's very, very important. And once you know who you are, you do things that are, you love it, passionate, and the world is yours. How many of you know Sri Leela? Sri Leela. Only few? You've not seen the movies? How about here? Sri Leela, the dancer. Okay. Do you guys know what did she study? She went to medical college. She's a doctor. And what is she now? Actress. Amazing actress, in fact. So you have that, each one of you has some innate skills. So when you actually do this meditation or find out the answer for who am I, you will find something that you have unique skills that you can leverage and you can make an impact. Look at how pretty short time she became such a popular actress, right? So, and she's also gone through very hard times. Her father, and she didn't have a good bonding with the father. She was raised by mother. Very, very tough childhood. And look at what she is. So you've got to discover yourself. That's very, very important. And if you discover who you are, and you meditate, you calm down your mind, and then you find your purpose in life, and you can manifest things, so your life will be amazing. So, but simple things. First, look at enhancing your communication skills. So, explore Toastmasters. And the second thing is, look at any organization that provides the meditation, whether it's Brahma Kumaris, whether it's Isha Foundation, whether it's Art of Living, whether it's Heartfulness Meditation. So a lot of organizations are there. So seek out that. That's very, very important. Growing in a spiritual dimension is as important as growing in an intellectual dimension. What you're doing with getting a degree is you're growing in an intellectual dimension. But we also have a spiritual dimension. That's important. So if you have a stool with multiple legs, and one of the legs is spiritual dimension and it is short, can you balance the stool? You can't, right? You can't balance the stool. So you've got to strengthen your spiritual dimension. Okay, so my favorite book, actually, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. How many of you heard about that book? No? Oh, you heard about it? Great. So at least one we have. So that book made such a big difference. I actually, have that, my employees go through that book. All my employees go through that book. And it's a required reading and required training in our company. So one of the things Stephen Covey says, we've got to sharpen ourselves. He says sharpening means it's not just intellectually. We got to be sharp in a physical dimension. We have to sharp on the mental dimension. We have to sharp on the social dimension. And we have to sharp on a spiritual dimension. And we have to be sharp on the emotional dimension. So many dimensions we have. So if you are just sharpening and getting a medical degree, that you have one leg stool, it can't stand. It can't be balanced. So you've got to sharpen all the legs. Okay? So that's important. So many of us, we think that, okay, going to the temple, I'm sharpening my, a temple, masjid, or church, or whatever it is, I'm sharpening myself. That's not the thing. When you answer the question, who am I? Then I would say you are sharp. Until then, you are not sharp. Okay? So it's very important, very, very important. Communication skills, this spiritual dimension, answering the question, who am I? And the third one I wanted to talk about is we were ruled by the Britishers for over 200 plus years, and so what their interests were, we just get a degree, read, write, and come and work as a clerk in their administration. So follow the instructions, do this, do that, do that, do that. Now, I see the graduates from India, whether it's medical graduates or IT graduates, but I see the graduates in the United States who are graduating from Harvard Medical School or MIT or Stanford. Most of them join startups. Most of them join startups. They don't work for somebody. So, whereas here, I see people wanting to get a degree and work for some corporate hospital or some others, but there it's not. They actually, now they are integrating AI in medicine, and they are doing a lot of startups in the US. So for starting the companies, you got to learn entrepreneurship skills, entrepreneur skills. And who is an entrepreneur? And can anybody give me an example of an entrepreneur? Anybody? Let's ask this person. So, who is the entrepreneur you can give? No? No? Okay. Anybody? Who is the entrepreneur? In India or in the US or in any in the world? Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur solves problems, entrepreneur starts companies. Is Elon Musk an entrepreneur? Elon Musk? And I don't know all the people here, but the people who started Swiggy, Zomato, Zerodha, are they entrepreneurs? And how much wealth they have now? Can anybody guess? Zerodha person, how many crores he has? Tens of thousands of crores. Okay? So if you start a business and solve the problem and start a business, you can accumulate amazing wealth. Amazing. Elon Musk is the richest person on the planet Earth. He's close to $1 trillion. So by starting the businesses, we get the best out of us, and we make the world a better place. Why should we go and work for somebody and make maybe 10 lakhs or even 10 crores when you can make 1 lakh crores? You've got to think like that. I will make 1 lakh crores. I mean, not for money, but just to kind of as a barometer of the problem that you solved and the impact you created. Is money gets accumulated if you do those kind of things. So don't settle for small. Think big. Elon Musk wants us to go to Mars.
Can anybody know why he wants us to go to Mars? Why we want to go to Mars? What if Trump, have you guys saw the Trump tweets recently? He's our president, but I don't agree with him, but I'm just saying, he's such a mad guy. I was afraid that he has a nuclear button and he just presses one and Iran will...
Mr. Day,
Yeah.
sorry for the interruption. I find there is stunning silence on the part of the students here. I recently went to, just give me 2 minutes.
Sure,
Mr.
sure,
Day.
sure.
I recently went to a school in Kodad. It's called Teja School. Do you know where is Kodad? Ekkadundi? Khammam. Khammam is a slightly different route, but not very far from Khammam. ఎవరైనా కోదాడికి వెళ్ళారా? Kodad is on your way to Vijayawada at a distance of about 180 kilometers from Hyderabad, 90 kilometers from Vijayawada. ఆ తేజ స్కూల్లో ఎల్కేజీ నుంచి 10th దాకా క్లాసెస్ ఉన్నాయి. దే హ్యావ్ కండక్టెడ్ ఎ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కాల్డ్ భారతీయం. భారతీయం ఆ ప్రోగ్రాంలో 150 సంవత్సరాల, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ ఫాలో తెలుగు, అండ్ హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ డోంట్? నోబడి. గుడ్. The Teja school students have demonstrated what each state is doing, starting from LKG. ఆ స్టేట్ డిస్క్రిప్షను ఎన్ని రాష్ట్రాలు ఉన్నాయి మన దేశంలో? 28. గుడ్. అది గట్టిగా చెప్పండి, కొంచెం కాన్ఫిడెంట్గా. 29 కాదు, 28. ఒకటి పోయింది. జమ్మూ అండ్ కాశ్మీర్ హెస్ గాన్. కాబట్టి ఆ తేజ స్కూల్లో ఉన్న పిల్లల యొక్క ఉత్సాహాన్ని చూస్తే యూ షుడ్ రియలీ బీ అమేజ్డ్. ఎల్కేజీ నుంచి 10th దాకా డిఫరెంట్ స్టేట్స్, వాళ్ళ డిస్క్రిప్షను, వాళ్ళ జియోగ్రఫీ, వాళ్ళ హావభావ విశేషాలు. మరి మీలో ఏమి అటువంటివి కనపట్లేదు? ఆయన ఇందాటి నుంచి 10-15 క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు. మీలో ఎవరు కూడా ఒక్క ప్రశ్నకు కూడా సమాధానం చెప్పడానికి సిద్ధంగా లేరు. You should be alive and kicking, not old people like me. You understand? ఏదైనా ప్రశ్న అడిగినప్పుడు ఒక సమాధానం ఏదో ఒకటి, no answer is wrong. All answers are right. And you should be able to defend that answer from your own perspective. So be active, be participative, ask the questions. ఆయన సింపుల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతున్నారు. మీకు ఏ సమాధానం తెలిస్తే, ఏ సమాధానం మీకు రెడీగా ఉంటే ఆ సమాధానాన్ని చెప్పండి. అదర్వైజ్ ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ ఆల్ టు విత్ ద పర్మిషన్ ఆఫ్ మిస్టర్ కృష్ణారావు టు తేజ స్కూల్ కోదా. పొద్దున్న వెళ్ళి సాయంత్రం రావచ్చు. వస్తారా? ఐఎమ్ విల్లింగ్ టు టేక్ యూ, అకంపెనీ యూ. బ్యూటిఫుల్ స్కూల్, వన్ ఆఫ్ ద బెస్ట్ స్కూల్స్, వన్ ఆఫ్ ది 20 schools ఐడెంటిఫైడ్ ఇన్ దిస్ కంట్రీ యాజ్ బీయింగ్ ఎ గుడ్ స్కూల్. అండ్ దే రీడ్ the Hindu newspaper on a daily basis, particularly 7th to 10th class. There is a school edition of Hindu. Kabatti, take that as a model, participate in the discussions, and satisfy Mr. Dave VEERLAPATI will be going back soon that he has created at least some 50 entrepreneurs equivalent to Elon Musk. He tells me every time there should be at least 23 entrepreneurs from this country like Elon Musk. కాబట్టి మీరు కొంచెం ఉత్సాహం చూపించి మధ్యాహ్నం పూట ఉండే ఆ నిద్రావస్థ నుంచి బయటపడి ప్లీజ్ పార్టిసిపేట్ ఇన్ ది డిస్కషన్. దట్స్ వై ఈస్ టాకింగ్ ఆఫ్ టోస్ట్-మాస్టర్స్. I was president of a Toastmasters club when I was in my 10th and 11th class in YMCA. కాబట్టి సారీ ఫర్ ది ఇంటరప్షన్ మిస్టర్ డే. రైట్, కొంచెం దగ్గరలో ఉంటే ఇక్కడ మంచిది.
Yeah. So, just to recap, what are the 3 key messages that I've talked about, 3 key topics I talked about? Can anybody volunteer? One message. Somebody's? Communication. So how do you enhance your communication? How do you enhance your communication? Toastmasters. T-O-A-S-T, Toastmaster, M-A-S-T-R, toastmasters.org. Go and check, okay? And we'll work through Chakrapani sir and Dr. Krishna Ragaru, and if anybody of you are interested, you can join our club. And it's online. You can do that, okay? So that's very, very important. For the medical students, communication is very important. If you don't understand your patient or the people that you're working with, or you can communicate your thoughts, it's not good. Communication is very important. So Toastmasters, that's one thing. I learned that I joined the Toastmasters right after I went to United States. I'm glad I did that, because the first thing is the language. I was from a Telugu medium student, and then the second is the accent, and the third one is introvert personality. I was very handicapped, very, very handicapped in the United States. So I'm glad we had at the workplace that Toastmasters is there. It's usually in the lunchtime they do, so that's why they call Toastmasters, the lunchtime. So 12 to 1, so you take your lunch and you actually talk on topics that are of interest to you. So you don't need to prepare. If you have gone to the village and visited the grandma, you can talk about that. Or you went with the friends to a movie, you can talk about that, like that. So it makes it very simple and enhances your communication skills, and your words come from your heart. That's the difference. The words coming from from the mind are different, from the words coming from the heart are different. The words should come from your heart, and that's what happens then. And what is the second one? Second one we talked about. What is the question you should ask? Who am I? Wow, so many people are saying that. That's amazing. I'm so happy that I planted a seed of question in you, and you will find the answer. If you can find the answer by the time you graduate from medical school, you will exceed Sri Leela. Sri Leela is nothing. Sri Leela is nothing between what you can accomplish, or even Elon Musk is nothing. I mean, Elon Musk is going to Mars. You guys can go to other planets, or you can go to Alpha Centauri. That's another star, closest star. So they have a lot of planets. You know how many planets we have in this cosmos? How many planets? 50 billion. 50. So we are just on Earth. We have, even 50 billion plus planets to explore. So the next frontier will be space. The next frontier that a lot of developments will happen is space. So you guys have to be up to date in that. We will have space-based artificial intelligence data centers. So right now their data centers are set up on the ground, and as you guys probably saw with the war, Iran attacked the Amazon data center. So it's all, for AI, you need those big data centers. And they are going to be set up in the sky, in the space, because it's very cold. So data centers need a lot of cooling. And so if it is already cold, you don't need much cooling. Then you have solar power, so you can get the electricity. Electricity is the biggest thing for data centers. So you can use the panels to produce the electricity. You don't have to worry about the cooling. So you can just send the chips and satellites, and they do that. So right now, SpaceX has the satellites. In fact, this phone that I have, if I don't have the cellular connection, it connects to Starlink satellites anywhere in the world. So my phone right now can connect to Starlink satellites. So this phone, I can have access from anywhere in the earth to anywhere in the earth. Doesn't matter whether I have a cellular network, internet, doesn't matter, because of the Starlink. thousands of satellites going around us and doing the internet. So Starlinks, just another thing you may want to explore. What is this Starlink? And what is this space data centers? What is this space exploration? So our Earth is small. So our cosmos is big. We are going to explore all that. So you got to be in the front lines to do all that. Okay? So the meditation is another one I talked about. So find an organization that helps you learn meditation. Okay? So I'm saying these things after being in here and I studied in IIT and going there and working there and learning very hard lessons. I wish I knew these things at your age. I would have been Elon Musk, or even more than Elon Musk, to be honest. I mean, the kind of manifestation powers you get through meditation is amazing. Is amazing. You know, I just want to share privately, but don't repeat everywhere. In 2018, after I started my meditation, and I'm also a philanthropist. I helped a lot of charities and institutions. I said, I wish I had a little bit more money. So I invested in Tesla. So Elon Musk company, Tesla, which drives itself, the car drives itself, right? Right now I have Tesla in the US. I just say I want to go to office. It takes me. I don't need to do anything. I just say, start the phone self-driving, and it finds planes, signals, highways, traffic, everything. It takes me. That's autonomous driving they call, full self-driving. So that's the company that Tesla I'm talking about. So 2018, I bought some stock and it was going down. I said, this is unreal, the car is so good. It's going down, so I'll buy more. And it went even more down. I bought even more. So suddenly, $5,000 investment, I put in $300,000 into that company. And the reason I was able to do because my mind is calm. I said, this company will do well. And I was driving a Tesla car and I saw the vision was good. So I kept on buying. I got into $300,000. In 2 years, it became $4.5 million. 300,000 became 4.5 million. And I took my 300,000 out. And so that the 4.2 million, sometimes it becomes 3, sometimes it becomes 8. And people say it might actually go 10 times in the next 10 years. So that it probably would be 70, 80 million, just one stock. And but the point I'm trying to say is when you do a meditation, your mind is calm, and you also has these manifestation powers. So you say, hey, I needed the money, and the universe gave it to me. And I could use that money for various things. So I just gave you one small example. I had so many different manifestations happen in my life. I had some business issues, I had personal issues, I wish something else happened, all this stuff, things started happening. You know, what time I wake up? Can anybody take a guess? What time I wake up?
Somebody said 5.
5? Okay. Anything else? 3:30? 4? Actually, I wake up at 4. So yesterday, I came from Delhi. By the time we went to bed, it was 12 o'clock. But still, I woke up at 4. So when you wake up, and that's a Brahma thing, they say. And when you wake up and you do practices, your powers will increase. That's a secret I'm sharing with you guys. Okay? So wake up early. And the thing is, that time, You are not disturbed by damn thing, anything. No wife, no children, no grandchildren, anything, okay? So that's another thing I wish you wanted to. So anyway, it's a great pleasure meeting you all, and I wish you all good, and you have amazing, amazing talent and potential. I'm just giving you Sri Leela because she is a doctor and she is really, doing well in the movies. But if you know who you are, you could be amazing person you could become. You can't, Sri Leela is no comparison. Elon Musk is also no comparison, the kind of potential you have. Okay? So, learn communication through Toastmasters, or there are Dale Carnegie programs are also there. A lot of public speaking programs are there. But Toastmasters is cheaper and easier and accessible and all that. Second, who am I question, I explore and join meditation class. And just develop that purpose, sense of purpose. Find that, discover the sense of purpose, and the world is yours. Thank you. No, it's okay. So, if you have any questions, I would love to, answer that. And if I can answer, I will say I'll answer. But if I don't, I'll come back. Okay. So the key thing is, I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, and so I have a date with her. Every Monday she comes to our home. That's our date. So we made an agreement with my daughter that we will take this Anya, her name. So we bring her to our home. And from the time she comes to our home, by the time she leaves, she has 100 whys. Why, Grandpa? Why? 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 And she cannot be whole like they sit. She'll be running and running and running and running. So just if you want to get to that childhood, innocence, creativity, energy, curiosity, you got to develop that. If you develop all that, Elon Musk, why he is successful? Because he was able to keep that childhood curiosity, creativity, energy, and sense of purpose. Of course, he realized it later, and that's why he is successful. So speak up. You have that Anya in you, Anya's little child in you. So don't have to, fearful. You are all, at one point, you're running around the homes and asking all kinds of questions, asking why. Why you should stop the whys now? Okay, they wrote the Gray's Anatomy, we'll mug it up and write it, that's okay, but I should not stop my whys. Okay? So, any questions? Any questions from you guys? Okay, backbenchers, lots of things are happening. Okay. Any questions? So, when I was in college.
So, excuse me, sir. Shall I ask some questions?
Yeah, sure.
So, you are very much precisely pointing out the meditation to improve the personality.
Uh-huh.
Which is anything which is more than the meditation?
So, the meditation is a process by which you discover who am I. And once you discover who am I,
how to discover who am I?
That's one of the processes of meditation. So in the meditation, simply what happens is, you close your eyes and you watch something. So the Buddha says is basically breath coming out, coming in, going in, you watch that. So initially your mind brings all thoughts. Tomorrow I have exam, I have this, I have that. All these things will come. But while you're watching this breath going out, going in, so your focus slowly turns only on the breath and other thoughts don't come. So basically you reach a state of no thoughts.
To reach the no thoughts, is it just the meditation is enough?
So there are multiple paths to reach the no thought stage. One is Bhakti Yoga, so where you are devoted like Anjaneya Swami. He is so devoted to Rama. And in his mind, everything is Rama, nothing else. All day, all minute, every second, every minute, he is Rama, Rama, Rama. So that's also brings you to no thought stage.
But it is a type of developing affinity towards the personality if you go in a Bhakti Yoga. But that's not a zero.
So Bhakti Yoga, your mind becomes calmer.
But it's not a zero.
It's not zero, but it becomes calmer, and it gets focused on the person you're showing the devotion.
But that man is not a zero.
So if you go into that even more in depth, it becomes zero.
So how to reach the zero?
How to reach zero? So you got to, so there's one is a Bhakti Yoga, one is watching the breath and through meditation, and the third one is a Jnana Yoga. So there are 4 paths: Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, the Raja Yoga is the meditation, and then the Karma Yoga is you do your job, but to help other people. So all of this, if you really sincerely do it and fully focused on it, you become the zero state.
So what is the purpose of life then? Like, if it is
The
zero?
purpose of life, you discover yourself.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
So for example,
What is the state of the mind where the self will come? The
So-
path of the self will come.
so the purpose of life, each one have a different, and each one actually is a different. So what I have discovered, I'll share my experience rather than bookish or anything. So when I got into the deeper meditation, and also with the life experiences that I had, so one of the things I found, the rural areas and the tribal areas in the both in the United States and here are very behind. And it's been historically. And I grew up in a village, and I also went to Palvancha and Kinnarsani and tribal areas. I grew up, and in the US also, the rural areas are all drugs, and they take fentanyl and massive problems. Here, alcohol, massive problems, and so no education, so all that. So that's one thing I wanted to change. So that's what came to me. I said, I need to transform the rural areas and tribal areas. That's where I'm. 3 E's. The first E is education. Through education, I'll transform the rural areas. The second one is, if you have education, what I've noticed is, I've spent crores of rupees in educating the children. But,
So you are talking about India or abroad?
both,
No, as villages you are talking, is in India or abroad?
here, in India. I'm talking about India. So what we did is, we spent the money, but they were trying to get jobs, and they were not finding the jobs. 50% getting the jobs, 50% were not getting the jobs. I said, So then I said, I'll focus on I'll make these children entrepreneurs. And so we started the entrepreneurship program. So what I found later, that people getting educated, people are becoming entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, they're making lots of money with no mental peace. No happiness. The guy can't stay with one woman. He divorced so many women. So I said, what's the heck this life is about? So he doesn't know the life's, what is the life?
Till now you said Elon Musk is an ideal personality and is a successful man, and now you are telling that he is a...
No, on one dimension, on the entrepreneurship dimension, yes. But on a holistic dimension, what I'm referring to now, he's not. He's not.
So what is the ideal, the goal?
So the ideal goal, it all depends on individual person. I can't say you have to do this or that. I think once your mind becomes calmer and you see the all of us are one as one consciousness, then you see that I can do these things.
What is the importance of the calmness?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, You asked the question as to what is the purpose in life. I would say that it changes from minute to minute. When I was working with with N.T. Ramarao as Deputy Secretary, my purpose was to catch up with his emotional flow and also to prevent him from making unnecessary promises. As Deputy Secretary to CM, I was assisting him in his assembly work. When I was Collector Nizamabad, my purpose in life was to prevent the students from copying and bring it down from 60% to 16%, 10th class. And when I was Commissioner Intermediate Education, my purpose was to ensure that all the students of intermediate, they catch up or at least try to catch up with the corporate sector. And when I am in this hall, my purpose is to ensure that the students here listen to him carefully. So there's nothing like one purpose at any point of time. It changes from minute to minute. The point is, and I do not think any individual should be an ideal to be able to perform. He or she has his own strengths and weaknesses. All of you have heard of Mr. T.N. Session. Unnara T.N. Session gurinchi?
It was an election commission.
He was the election commissioner, the only election commissioner who is remembered so far in this country as bringing some integrity to the whole election process. T.N. Session was a bully. He was intimidating. He was intimidating every individual. But when he was given a constitutional position of election commissioner, he made sure that every politician followed the model code of conduct. And it's more than 20 years or 30 years that he has been there.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. One more thing, actually, sir is talking only the materialistic.
I'm talking of materialistic.
Sir, please.
No, you said what is it? Zero. I mean,
Zero.
there's nothing like materialism and spiritualism.
Sir, just let me.
So for the students at this time, we are at a life experience level, at a different level.
So just one more question, sir.
Yeah.
You said one point that actually the American button is in a madman. Do you think America is so foolish that he'll give his whole governance to a madman?
I don't want to answer that. Sorry. So,
Accept it.
yeah, we have a way of checks and balances. So, you give me October, I think his wings will be cut.
No, I can answer, but I'm not telling that.
Yeah, his wings will be cut in the sense we will elect a House of Representatives and senators who are different from Republican Party, and that will, reduce his powers.
So when so much of devastating things are happening, why so much of time is needed there?
When so much
So
of
much of time, taking so much of time to rectify.
yeah, it's,
What is the role that time they kept it? You said some 2 or 3, 4 months. So why that immediately they can rectify?
no, we can.
Taking out the madman and placing wise man.
It's already happening. It's in the sense the Republicans are losing elections already.
No, 3, 4 months, is it like a thing so that, is it a safe period, they think?
So we'll talk about the politics later.
No, this is not the politics, sir. This is entirely a wisdom. How to understand the world.
That these days we are so afraid. We are such a free country. We can express and we can do, but now I can't criticize my president. I can't even talk because anytime I'm talking about the president, my watch is listening, my phone is listening, and my NSA is watching.
No, that's not.
So we got to be careful now.
No, nothing to be careful, sir. Like if you evoke the wisdom, and if you think in on that basis, there is a clear picture that I want to tell. See, what like thing is, you want politics or special real? What is your question, sir?
No, you said, what is the point you are
No, let's not talk about Trump. Okay. Let's not talk about Trump. So we have so many things to talk about. Let's not talk about Trump. And they have.
No, that is an example I'm telling you.
No, they have built a lot of sophisticated systems to muzzle people. Okay.
So that is one example. So we can reach to the correct point what is happening in the world through our knowledge or our wisdom. One can say that.
No, I think if you look at even Russia-Ukraine war and even Middle East war, Jaishankar and Modi are very well respected. And J.D. Vance, who is actually mediating and got the ceasefire, actually had meetings with people in India before he hit to Pakistan. J.D. Vance married to Usha Vance, who is actually a Telugu girl. Who is a Telugu girl, okay? So don't lose hope. We have Indian blood, Indian wisdom in the White House, and so Trump may be doing all this, but he's also having health issues. We don't know what happens if there's so much of stress he's taking, and health is important. So that's where I live. Okay. So anyway, if any students have any questions, I know I can answer, I can spend time with you, but I don't want to charter into dangerous waters, and I have to get back to United States. I can be stopped at the border. So if I do something, say something, and the border people can say, hey, you're talking too much about this and that, we can't admit you, okay? So lots of those things are happening already. I think some of the H-1B people who are coming, and they ask for social media handles, and the software sucks in all the social media posts and determines, his posts are bad, so we should not give him admission. So it's the system is already in place. We don't know, you guys don't know, but everything we say in the air gets into some computer database, because these phones are always listening, watches are listening, and they say, we just only do when you command, say Siri, hey Siri, and hopefully it didn't. But they're always listening, and there's there's so much of capabilities there these days to capture all the info. But anyway, let's not get into that. Yeah, yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Priya. So, from joining IIT Kharagpur to starting a building in US, what are the challenges you faced and how did you overcome it?
So, in Kharagpur?
Yeah, from Kharagpur to
So, that's a good question. So, the first one is the communication skills. I studied in Telugu medium, and that stayed with me. I was thinking in Telugu, and if I want to ask the question, some of the people I see why you are not able to ask questions is because you are thinking in Telugu, and if you have to ask the question, you have to find, translate into English, ask the question, and once you get the answer, again you translate into Telugu. So I was doing that because I studied and I speak in Telugu at home, friends Telugu, and so all the mental processing is happening in Telugu language. So now it's different. Being there right now, I'd say 39 years in the US, I'm thinking in English. Now you ask me to speak in Telugu, I have to think in English and find the appropriate sentences and in Telugu and do that. The translation, I really can't speak fluent Telugu like this. So one is the communication. Then going to US was cultural shock. So at that time we didn't have much vegetarian food in the United States. So let me tell you a couple of examples of the things that happened to me. We went to the airport, and I was looking for toilets, and the toilets in the US are written as restroom. So I thought restroom means you go and rest there. Not for toilet. I mean, come on, again, we never had this restroom thing, recently came in the hotels and all that, but growing up in 80s, and so when you go cultural shock, I'm giving you an example. So there is a company called Famous Bar. We were very thirsty, and we thought maybe we can get a Coke or something, and we went to that company, the Famous Bar. We thought there is a bar, maybe there will be a Coke will be there, but it's actually a company that has the retail stores. Okay, and the third cultural shock we had is the snow. Growing up, I saw a lot of movies in Kashmir. They made it in Kashmir when the snow falls, and it's a beautiful. And I wish I lived in a place where that kind of snowfall is there, and everywhere is white. So we experienced that. But I went in and touched it and played it. Bare hands. You cannot play snow. It actually made my whole hand frozen and red. And I had a tremendous pain. And so then somebody said, oh, you shouldn't be touching the snow. I mean, you can touch maybe a little bit, but not like hold it for a long time at your flu. I think you're doctors, you know that, right? So what the cold is that. So cultural shock is one thing. Then so we had to go through the visa thing, but in our times visas were, I got my green card pretty fast, so that was not a problem. But I think the next one is the company when I started, there was a lot of challenges I faced. So I said, I started the company, we needed some money, and I went to a bank and I said, hey, I need a $40,000 loan. To pay my employees, and because my customers will take a month or two to pay the bills. So they said, when did you start? I said, 3 months ago. 3 months ago you started the company, you want the loan? No way. So what I noticed in the United States, the bank giving money to the wealthiest people who don't need the money. Who really need the money, they don't give it, because of all this insurance and all those kind of things. So getting the money was a big challenge. Then, employee attrition was a huge challenge. So that, we overcome. But overall, I think, I struggled for 5 years. First 5 years were whether we'll sustain the company or we have to close it down. That kind of dilemma I faced first 5 years. But once the 5 years are over, then I kind of mastered all the things of what are the critical elements to run the business and manage those elements. So now we have 29 years company, and we are still going strong. So going from Kharagpur to this, I think those are some of the things that I faced: cultural shock, communication, business challenges, all that. But having said that, United States is a wonderful country. It's you have some people, extreme people recently, but in general, I think it's a beautiful country. People can assimilate. People can become whatever they want to become. There's no comparison. Here, I have to worry about, as somebody told me, that if you have a car, if your neighbor doesn't have BMW, you can have BMW 3. But if your neighbor has BMW 3, you should have a BMW 5. If your neighbor has BMW 5, you should get BMW 7. But I have Toyota Innova that was bought 15 years ago, still runs. I'm happy. I don't need a BMW. I don't need to be compared with myself with my neighbor or with other people. That kind of comparison I've seen a lot in India. Somebody as a neighbor has this, so I should have that or more. But we don't have those comparisons in the States. So that is one thing, and People have, even if, my maid, for example, the maid that comes to clean our homes, she comes in a BMW 5. So some of my family, friends and all that, they get shocked. I said, wow, this guy comes in a BMW 5. It's, the thing is that son works in the BMW car, what is it, dealership. So there was a car came, so he gave that. So that's what she got the BMW. But it's good. I drive Tesla. At least she comes in BMW into my home. I'm just kidding. But it's we are all treated equally, and we can do whatever we want. The freedom. So, for example, here I'll just give you, the government is so difficult here in this country. Sorry, sir. So even a simple thing, my company, we bought a land. The company is S2 Tech, and they put as S instead of S, they put a 5 in that. 52 Tech, they put it in the VEERLAPATI portal. The physical documents say S2 Tech, but VEERLAPATI is the portal they use for land transactions, land recordings, and all that. So it's 52. I'm trying to change that to S2 Tech for the last 10 years. Can you believe it? I went even to the chief secretary of Ravint Reddy, and I still can't get it done. So slow. And if I buy a land or a home in the United States, I don't have to worry about who owned the land, who owned the property before. I get the full right, full control. Here, if you buy a land or if you buy a home, you don't know whether you have that land. Somebody else had a lawsuit, somebody else sold it improperly, all this stuff. So it's so difficult to do business in India, whereas United States it's not. I started business in India and in the US. Went to Secretary of State, filed paperwork, called IRS and got the number. I'm in business. So the whole process took probably a couple of hours. Here, to start a unit, I have to employ a person. They have to get 13 different permissions, and it took over 1 month. So just to start a software company, they say we have single window permission, this and that. 13 different permissions. I said, crazy. But having said that, I don't want you guys to get disheartened to start the businesses, okay? So you can stop. You can get better. I'm still doing well. I think we have to have people who know the rules, regulations, bureaucracy, and they will handle all that. So you don't have to do that. But, so did I answer your question? Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Raghavendra from final year MBBS. I just have a doubt that in this fast-paced world, we choose, like our fellow Indians, we choose the indigenous way of doing a degree and moving to a job and some ransom money and go through our livelihood. So to avoid the risks of getting crushed by the fast-paced world by starting a startup. So what are your views in this? Is there any intermediate way for safer startup company openings or any startup ideas, or is the only mantra is to take the risk?
So the whole world is moving fast, okay? So AI is going to make it even more faster. But what I suggest is, you guys are doctors. I think there are a lot of non-government organizations, they call NGOs, and they do health camps. Like we have Saraswati Shishu Mandir in Bhadrachalam, we do health camp. So we bring in the doctors to check the students, to find what's their health. I would advise every one of you to work in that health camps. As my sister-in-law is there, my younger brother's. I don't know, it's a sister, daughter-in-law actually. So younger brother's daughter-in-law is there. She's a eye specialist and ophthalmologist, and she does a lot of Lions Club camps where she helps people with eye problems. And so you get in touch with the local Lions Club, Rotary clubs, or any of those clubs, or when you go to villages, your grandparents are there, you set up a small clinic. Or if your doctor is there, help. So either helping with doctor or work in these camps, but get practical experience. Okay? You will probably be going in the hospitals and rounds and all that, but actual practical experience on the ground, you should do that. And keep a keen eye on the problems people are facing. Like you go to, you take your mother, father, brother, sister to a hospital, and what kind of problems you're facing. Can you do better? So some of the things that the most of the, one of the things is, if you do meditation, if you do eat properly, nice food, you don't need a doctor actually. So you can integrate the holistic medicine into your modern medicine. I think there's a lot of things. If you can prevent people going to the doctor, there's a humongous amount of business is there. I mean, I'm saying as a doctor, you can think through and find those kind of solutions. So for example, just to give you an example, turmeric is a spice. So it's very widely used in the India, and that's why, a lot of our people don't have as much of heart disease problems like in the United States. And they found that turmeric, actually, if you take regular turmeric, your arteries are clean and they don't get, accumulated, and they work very well. And so, big thing in the United States now, people taking capsules and capsules of turmeric every day. So ginger is another root that has an amazing, tremendous potential is there. So there's a lot of ingredients that we have here that are medicinal properties, and you could bring those things. And if you do a podcast or you do a YouTube channel on turmeric, probably you can make 3 to 4 lakhs a month minimum. So think about using the AI, using the social media, and using the knowledge that you have and awareness you have, find the problems that are there, and can you solve this problem for not only your own family, but for others as well. Okay? So keep a keen eye. So develop that why this is happening like this, why this is happening. Don't settle just because somebody said, you don't accept. Ask questions. Why? If you're asking question of who am I, you should be asking more questions. The people who grow in the world are the ones who have more questions, not the people who just accept everything and move. So I like you too. You become amazingly successful people because the questions are important. Okay? So I know some of you will have to translate from Telugu to English and ask the question, so that's the barrier. I faced the same barrier. I was not asking questions when I was growing up. I mean, I can understand all of you that way. But you've got to ask the questions. If you ask questions in Telugu, I'm okay. So you don't have to speak in English, okay? So if you want to ask me questions in Telugu, I understand Telugu. But I may not be able to speak in Telugu, that's different. But I can understand Telugu. So if any of you have questions and want to ask in Telugu, anybody?
Sir.
Okay, so there's one here, okay. Well, okay, you got a question? All right.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, you have
Sir,
a mic.
myself Siddharth.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is that you emphasize the question, who am I? Who am I? Like, how can a student practically explore this? Like, how can he achieve his answer? Like,
As I mentioned, you are into a meditation class. Brahma Kumaris, Isha Foundation, Art of Living, Heartfulness Meditation, like that. There's so many programs out there. So you guys, first thing, one of the beautiful and the best gift you guys have, Chat GPT. How many of you know Chat GPT? Let's see. You don't know Chat GPT? You don't know? You don't know? So let's see who is not raising the hand. The backbenchers don't know Chat GPT. I wish even those people know that. Okay. So when I was going to the college here in Hyderabad, the backbenchers are the amazing people. They just come, my professor used to take the attendance, and after the attendance is done, the whole backbench is empty. So when I was here, I was sitting in the front seat and taking all the notes, and then these backbenchers come to my hostel and say, "Can you please give me the notes?" And one of the backbencher, his name is, I can mention, his name is Sanjeev Sidhu. So he started a business, and he became a Forbes 400 millionaire in 1988, the year I went to US. So he didn't go to a master's, he just went straight to US, and he started the business immediately, and his company did well. So he was the backbencher, and he used to come during the exams. 10 o'clock I used to finish my reading, and he used to collect the notes for the entire semester. He used to collect the notes at 10 o'clock, and then I'd wake up and review the notes at 5. So I used to drop it off by 5, and that's how I passed the exams. And then I went and started a business, and he was much more wealthy than me. Actually, he was one of the inspiration for me to start my own business. I said, a backbencher and a person who actually took my notes, and he became already hundreds of millions worth in the 1988. I said, I should be doing the business. And that's what I tell you guys. You'll fail. First 2 or 3 ventures you'll fail. Don't give up. I succeeded in my business in the 3rd business venture. If I've stopped in the first business, oh, it's not for me, I don't have the mindset or whatever it is, I won't have been successful. I failed 2nd time. But every failure, I learned more. You've got to fail in our lives. If you don't fail, you don't learn. Failure is the best way to learn. So don't be afraid of failure. In fact, the companies in Silicon Valley, when they interview, they say, tell me about the thing that you did, you failed. They don't tell you what product you developed, how much market share you got, and what things you did. They ask you, what is the product you wanted to develop, but you failed, and why? That's the important question they ask. So we celebrate failures there. Here it's a different story. But culture is changing. I mean, people are now, I heard father-in-laws or parents and all that, they're liking the startups. It's a big thing now. So if your son-in-law, future son-in-law is a startup, they love it. So it's a kind of culture why it's changing. Startups are being accepted more, and they have potential to make people wealthy. So, did I answer your question? Okay. Anybody wants to ask a question in Telugu? I want to hear actually in Telugu.
So we can take one last question.
All right.
And then
Okay. So one last Telugu question. If nobody asks, then I would actually pick somebody. Actually, I love backbenchers. So, you want to? Okay.
So I do have a question, but I can't speak much Telugu. I'm not from a Telugu state, that's why. So first of all, thank you so much, sir, for coming up here and sharing your thoughts and your vision to us. So my question to you is actually, you talked about this entrepreneurship, this innovators, creating new innovators. You are going to various schools, various platforms and talking about this thing. So according to the education system in India, which ask us to blend in it, being what actually established, there is a specific established rule which we should follow, that is, and living in it, that is asked us to do in the education system in India. So what do you think, is this a barrier for the students in India for being an entrepreneur or an innovator in India? So what is your thought on that, sir? Should we move away from this, should we break this, or should we reform it?
Yeah, Indian education, what I noticed is you study a subject, you memorize it, and there are some questions on it, you just spit it out, and you forget it. And that's what I did. I played the game very well. I was second in my class. But did I remember the thermodynamics I learned in that class? Did I remember them? No. I don't remember the equations, I don't remember the concepts, but I did well. I was second in the class. So, yeah, so we have some constraints about the things that we have. And if you don't have a medical degree, you probably won't get a spouse. I mean, I'm just saying, if you, I heard that my nephew who went through, he actually failed a couple of times, and I said, why are you not getting married? He said, Pragnana, you won't give a daughter to me if I'm failing my MBBS, right? So anyway, so the degree is important. So you don't want to do that. But what we have is entrepreneurship and leadership development camp. It's called ELDP, and I have this 4-month boot camp in association with a company called Moonpreneur. Okay. So they're also started by IITians, and we really want to give back and make the India better, and we want to create Elon Musk's here. So this is a very serious program. It's a 4 months, but it's done in the evenings, 7:30 later. So we'll form a group of 5 people and find out the problems that you see in daily life, and build the solutions and create a business plan. And it says a structure of all the things. And we are in association with IITs and IIMs in Moonpreneur. We're doing that program. That is totally outside your curriculum. Whatever curriculum you have, you need to follow. I don't want you to short circuit that. But I'm going to supplement it with this program, and we are going to provide the details. And Chakravarti sir already knows. Krishna will get the details. So if any of you are interested, we have a couple of programs starting for, we have IIM Lucknow, IIT Dhanbad, and there's different IIM Jodhpur. So like that, there are multiple IITs and IIMs. We have these programs. It's completely done virtually. You can do it from home. 4 months, I'll turn you into an entrepreneur. And your mindset will completely change. I said, why should I work for somebody? I'll actually start my business. That's the kind of mindset will transform. And I encourage you to all, look out for the details. And Sir is doing it for Under Mahasabha. Amazing transformation I've seen in the Under Mahasabha students. And we'll see amazing things happening from that Under Mahasabha students in the future. So I love to see the same thing with Maheshwara Medical College. And you guys have to make this much bigger and much better than any institute, even better than All India Institute of Medical Sciences colleges. So you can do it. And so my final words are, become a better communicator, find the answer to who am I, be entrepreneur, and discover your life's purpose. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of everyone here, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for making sessions so meaningful and memorable. Your speech today are truly inspiring, insightful, and thought-provoking. Request everyone to rise for the national anthem. Thank you.